Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now today, I got a very special guest. I'm interviewing a gem of 80s teen movies. One that I had a crush on when I was very, very young, and she's an 80s actress who gets sadly overlooked. And I'm talking about Elizabeth Gorcey. She's the star of such movies as Footloose, Teen Wolf, Iced, a great underrated horror movie, weird one too, and my all-time favorite, Kidco, a movie based on a true story. She is really great in that movie, playing like the older tomboy sister of Scotty Schwartz. Yeah, June Cessna she plays. Yeah, it's going to be pretty awesome. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to interviewing her in just a few moments when she calls me. It's going to be pretty cool. Yeah, and I know that she's been doing like documentary directing or something since then. I want to find out a little bit more about that. A couple of weeks ago, I interviewed Cheryl Pollack. You may have saw that. She's a director for documentaries as well and stuff. So I see a pattern here, right? Right? Yeah. So I'm going to wait for a few moments until Elizabeth Gorcey calls me. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hey, how are you?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Awesome.
A little bit hoarse, but all good.
Oh, you sound pretty good to me.
How's it going? Where are you? You're located on the East Coast, right?
In Redding, California.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, just about 6 or 7 hours away from LA.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Yeah.
And how did you become a comedian?
I started doing comedy in San Francisco, where I'm from, about 12 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. And what do you love about the 80s? You didn't know I was going to be interviewing you, did you?
What I love about the 80s is, I was really, really young during that time, but I have an older brother who had like all the movies on tape and stuff, and I watched them. I listened to the music, on VH1 in the 90s and stuff, and I just love everything about it, just how cool everything was. It's hard to describe, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's such an honor, though, that you taking the time today, because I had a crush on you when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So when did you get bit by the acting bug?
When I was little, my first acting role, I think it was in elementary school, was a cloud. That was my first part. I was a cloud. Yeah. I had a sheet on with a bunch of powder. Mm-hmm. And I always just, loved getting into characters.
Mm-hmm. You did a lot of theater?
I didn't do that much theater. I mean, I did an opera, mm-hmm. Madame Butterfly, when I was younger, and then really just went right into, I did a summer stock in Michigan, which was kind of, the first year was like the worst experience of my life. Mm-hmm. And then, the second year, I got my SAG card. Then I went right to New York and got a PBS TV series called 3-2-1 Contact. So it was kind of like an exciting beginning. So it wasn't like years of theater. It was sort of not much theater and just a lot of dreaming of it. And like I said, a really bad experience in summer stock, and then going up to the city and my first day getting an agent in the city. Mm-hmm. And then within a week getting a PBS TV series. So it was kind of a very exciting start.
Yeah, it sounds very exciting. And
then when I was doing a PBS TV series one of our stops was Arizona, I was at a hotel and they were auditioning people. It was a 20th Century Fox picture. And I didn't know I was unavailable, so I just looked like, people around my age. So I went in and I auditioned and I got the part, but I couldn't take it because I was unavailable. And then the producers of that film, which was a 20th Century Fox film, bought me out of the PBS TV series.
Wow. They wanted you that bad. That's nice.
Yeah, which was crazy because I really had a great time on that PBS TV series. I always regret leaving it, not finishing it off completely.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I mean, Kidco was a movie that my brother had on tape when I was a kid. I used to watch it over and over again, and I couldn't go to school without seeing it on at like 7 in the morning on HBO when I was a kid, too.
Yeah, that was the one, actually. That was the movie in Arizona. That they were seeing people around the pool, and I just happened to be there for a day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I used to live in Arizona. It's very hot down there.
Mm-hmm. What part of Arizona did you live in?
Glendale.
I don't know where that is. I know Tucson and Phoenix, but I don't know what Glendale is.
It's right near Arizona State.
Oh, yeah.
Phoenix. Yeah.
So it's closer to Phoenix then?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Did you guys shoot that movie during the summertime?
We didn't, because I don't remember it being that hot. No. It was warm, but it wasn't that. It wasn't, I know, and the summers there are crazy.
Yeah.
So it wasn't in the summer.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. We shot it around Tucson, and then other areas in Arizona.
Mm-hmm. Now, had you been aware that it was a real story?
Oh, yeah, we met the real kids.
Oh, nice.
So that was great, and I really loved that they did that, and I thought that was really cool. And they came to the set, and we met them. So, yeah, I did know that.
Wow, yeah. I wonder what they're doing now. I mean, the real Dickie Cessna, he's probably either a corporate mogul or he's in jail.
And that's true. And who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe he was a corporate mogul and now he's in jail. So it could be both.
Yeah, it could be both. Yeah, I've always...
Now, you have an accent. It's funny because you said you're from... What's your accent from?
Well, I'm completely American. I'm born and raised in the Bay Area, but my father's Croatian.
Yeah, I don't know. It sounds almost... I mean, I know you're raised in the Bay Area, but it almost sounds a little bit like Midwest, your accent.
Wow. I've had people ask me if I'm Russian and from Russia, or Poland or something like that. I never get the West Coast, really.
Yeah, that's funny.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I've always loved how quirky and funny the movie is, and it has such a great cast.
Oh, Kidco you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, it was a lot of fun to do,
Mm-hmm.
and working also with David Nivens and Frank Jablons as the producers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Ron Maxwell, of course, as the director, who was a really, really nice man.
Yeah, I heard he's like Stanley Kubrick, though. He likes to do a lot of takes.
Yep, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think with this, I don't remember that many takes,
Mm-hmm.
but he does like to. He likes to get it right. And Herbert Ross is another director I worked with who is absolutely a perfectionist. He really, like, it had to be just right. I mean, he brought us up on the movie, I think, like, almost 1 month before, because it was an ensemble piece. So he wanted us to all, like, work together and, get to know each other.
Yeah.
So we were doing improv, like, 1 month before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it like working with Scotty Schwartz?
He's funny. He's a funny guy. A lot of fun and a funny guy.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been in touch with him as well?
Not yet, but he's on the list.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a definitely funny guy. A lot of good energy, high energy. Yeah. And I saw him, like, I don't know, maybe 3-4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody now can stay in touch, of course, on some of these social medias, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Vincent Schiavelli, he was a great actor.
Mm-hmm.
Did he scare?
Yeah, I've lost touch with mainly everybody on the movie.
Well, you really lost touch with him because he's been dead for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I'd have to either be, a psychic medium in order to speak to him.
Mm-hmm. The middle sister, Tristine Schuyler, she's doing great. She's a writer and a producer now.
Yes. Yeah. And she was good. She was good on the set, too.
Mm-hmm.
And then what about Cinnamon, the little one?
She's nowhere to be found. She quit, like, after she did, like, 3 movies, and then she disappeared.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. She was good, too,
Yeah.
Good little actress. That's too bad. I had no idea.
Yeah, she's, like, in her 40s now.
Mm-hmm.
Which is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
I love my 2 favorite scenes that you are in. I love when you and Tristine are fucking with the IRS guys, being pregnant.
Yep.
And all that.
The farmer, where we have we're in the barn and we live in the barn.
Yeah. I love that. I love that scene. And I love when you and the boyfriend are making out on the couch.
And they're come and spy on us.
Yeah. I always love that scene because I always remembered you called Dickie a little worm. I always remember that.
Yeah.
That was like my earliest memory of it. Yeah.
It was fun. That was my first movie, and it was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And then you did the immortal classic Footloose.
Mm-hmm.
What can you tell me about this classic?
You mean Kidco?
About Footloose.
Oh, Footloose. Footloose, like I said, we went up there a month before.
Right.
And on the set, Sarah, it wasn't originally Sarah Jessica who was going to play that part.
Mm-hmm.
There was a different actress. And they didn't feel she had just had a death in her family, so they didn't feel she was part of the ensemble. So they removed her and they brought in Sarah Jessica Parker. Mm-hmm. And Sarah and I were inseparable on the set. Mm-hmm. And it was a lot of fun. And, you had a lot of good actors. You had Kevin Bacon, you had John Lithgow.
Francis Lee McCain.
I'm sorry, what?
Francis Lee McCain.
Oh, yeah. Just some really terrific. We used to always hike, and the town wasn't very welcoming because it was very much a Mormon town, so they didn't really welcome, like, Hollywood, show business people. We drank coffee, and some of them smoked. Because anywhere I've ever done a movie, the locals are so nice, and they'll invite you to dinner, they'll invite you here and there. This was not at all. Like, we were asking to, like, have places open a little later, and they wouldn't at all. So it was, but the cast and crew really worked well together. So, we'd all hang out a lot. It was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And, it was, we were there a long time, too. And I remember we used to always hike and do a lot of fun things. And we'd go to the movies, there was parties, and Herbert Ross was, a brilliant director to work with. I learned so much from the way he worked. And his wife I think Nora was his wife at the time, although, they had separate lives, as we know. But, I used to have really long hair, and right when I got to the set, they cut my hair. Originally, I was up for the female lead, and I went 5 times myself and Lori Singer. Mm-hmm. And so then Lori Singer got the female lead, and then they gave me another part, and I said, I'm not doing it. my agent's like, you're crazy, turn it off. I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do it. You know, I thought, I want the other part. I was up for this one. And then my agents ended up, talking to me, and I ended up doing the film, and that's when I got to the set, the location, I got my hair cut. So.
Crazy coincidence. Yeah, Kevin Bacon, he became a huge star, like, right out of the gates, but it kind of bit him in the ass for a while, because it was years before he had another successful film.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, because he's a really talented guy, and he's a really nice guy.
Yeah.
He's really a good person.
I think it was just a judge in scripts, basically.
Probably.
Yeah. I mean, he even said himself when he did Quicksilver, like 2 years later, he said that was the worst idea he ever had, was to do that movie.
Yeah, you have to pick, I guess, what projects you're going to do, right, that have some impact and that are going to tell some good story. I mean, but the interesting thing, if you read the story Footloose, but you didn't have the music with it, it was kind of an okay script. But I think the music and everybody worked so well together. Like, there was a really good, like I said, casting crew that worked really well together, and Herbert Ross kept that energy of working really well together, and I think that made it a lot better.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. What was it like working with Sarah Jessica Parker?
She was fun. Like I said, we trade clothes and, get into trouble or run around the set. She was definitely interested in Christopher Penn.
Yeah.
That was probably her first big romance on that set. So, but she was fun. She was playful and fun, and Lori Singer kept more to herself.
Yeah.
So it was normally Sarah and I would run around everywhere.
Mm-hmm. What was Chris Penn like?
Kind of like a surfer dude.
Yeah.
Very laid back.
Like his brother in Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yeah, exactly. But really a sweet guy.
Yeah, I've heard he is a really nice guy.
He really is. So,
And then you did Grandview USA, which is, to me, one of the most underrated movies of the 80s.
Yeah. I just recently saw the writer. I also do a series of books, and I saw that the writer came to the book signing of these children's books. So, yeah, that was an interesting movie. Because, again, I was up for, it was Jennifer Jason Leigh and myself. I was up for either one of those two roles. So she got the one role, and I got the other one. And that was a fun movie, too. I mean, that was where a lot of the locals would invite you everywhere. They were really, really kind. And I worked with Randall Kleiser, who... Yeah. That was a bit rough for me. I mean, there was a prom scene where I fall in the mud, and C. Thomas Howell doesn't fall in the mud. And when I fell in the mud, he runs over to help C. Thomas Howell and just left me in the mud. It's kind of a little bit of a difficult shoot for me. And there was also a scene where she's supposed to be going to the prom with C. Thomas Howell, and there's the way they wrote it in the movie is the way we shot it, but the director wanted to change it, and he wanted my character to pull out some birth control out of a stuffed animal and then run down to the car when he picks me up for the prom. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. My character, she wants to marry C. Thomas, the C. Thomas Howell character, and that's what she's hoping for. She does not. She wants to get pregnant, so they get married. So the producer saw what was going on, and he pulled me aside, and he said, you're absolutely right, and we're going to keep it. We're going to shoot it as it is. So we're getting ready for the shoot, and I'm supposed to be lying in bed, and you think, I'm wearing that prom dress where you see my shoulders. So in the movie, you think, oh, God, she, doesn't have anything on, which I do. But the director, while we're getting ready for that scene, he's like reading his mail and just like throwing it on me as he reads the mail, because he didn't want to do the scene that way.
Yeah.
So it was an interesting shoot. The whole shoot was a little bit more on the rougher side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like the movie a lot, though, because it's got a great cast. C. Thomas Howell, I met him a couple of years ago at a convention. He's a very nice guy.
Yeah, he's really a sweet guy, too. He really is.
Yeah, I was like at his table, and like for some reason, I thought his table would be like, would be full of people, going there to meet him because he's such an 80s icon. But he's like sitting there texting, right? And then like I'm waiting for his attention, right? And then after he's done texting, he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I was saying a happy birthday text to my son."
That's funny.
Yeah, he was very nice. Troy Donahue, of all people, is in it too.
Oh yeah, that's funny. He was nice too.
Mm-hmm. And
I don't remember a lot with him. I mean, C. Thomas Howell, I remember, is really a sweet guy. And on this set, a lot of the people didn't do a lot of stuff together. It was very, Jennifer, she goes really deep into a character, which is wonderful. She's a really wonderful actress. I mean, gosh.
And M. Emmett Walsh played your father.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the greats. Yeah. Yeah, he's one of the greats. And then you did Teen Wolf.
Mm-hmm. With Michael J. Fox.
Yeah, another childhood favorite of mine. How did this movie come to you?
Oh God, somebody. I think it was just offered to me, but I was cut out of it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I was getting ready to do something else, but it just seemed like a really fun script, and I really liked Michael J. Fox, so it was fun, and it was filming locally in town, and I got to wear a lot of vintage stuff, so I thought it would be a really fun.
Yeah, Michael J. Fox was a huge star in Family Ties at the time, and he actually found out that Spielberg's people were casting Back to the Future while he was filming this, and not knowing that he would end up playing the lead.
Wow. I didn't even know that.
Oh, yeah. The scenes where him and Booth are, like, walking, in the little neighborhood, that's the same neighborhood that Back to the Future's scenes are in when, like, George McFly is, like, peeking through the window and all that. That's the same neighborhood. Oh,
wow. I didn't even know that.
Yeah. They were like scouting locations there, and he was like, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" And he's like, "Oh, we're scouting locations for a new Spielberg movie." And he was like, "Wow, that's cool." And he didn't know that he was going to be playing the lead.
That is so wild. I had no idea. Who told you that?
I'm trying to remember. He said it on one of the Back to the Future DVDs.
Oh wow, that's so cool. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Cool.
I love that party scene where Styles is making all the boys and girls do all that crazy stuff. You seemed like you were a little annoyed after a while, though.
Oh yeah, I think I was the hat girl there, right?
Yeah, you're the hat girl.
Yeah. That was yes, true. It was like because it was kind of a lot of long hours for that party scene. I remember.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jay Tarsis playing the coach. He steals the movie, and I've heard he can be kind of a jerk, but he steals that movie.
Yes, he does.
He's great in that role.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna bring up a role that you probably thought nobody saw, but I saw it.
Oh boy, I can only imagine what that one is.
Shelley Duvall's Tall Tales and Legends.
Oh, yeah.
Pico's Bill. Yeah.
Had that very strange little outfit and accent.
And you were with Megan Mullally.
Uh-huh. It was so fun.
Yeah. You guys got to play annoying sisters to Rebecca De Mornay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what was that like?
Yeah.
You were surrounded by another great cast.
It was fun. It was fun. It was just like the outfit, you know?
Mm-hmm.
We had all this padding in this outfit, but it was fun. It was like kind of an annoying role, like a little tattletale.
Mm-hmm.
So it was fun to do. And like you said, the cast was really good, and I think Steve Quick was in that too, right?
Who? Steve Guttenberg.
Gutenberg. Oh my God, I said Steve Quick, not Gutenberg. I meant. Yeah. So and it was fun. It was just annoying getting in that little outfit. So it made it more annoying to play the annoying little girl.
Yeah. It's good. Yeah. I mean, I watched all those like Shelley Duvall fairy tale theater and stuff when I was a kid, and there was always these great casts and great directors doing it. You know, they need to bring those back.
Mm-hmm. They really should, and she was just terrific what she was creating there.
Yeah.
Now you're making me miss acting.
I'm sorry. Now you did a movie I've never seen, but I'm intrigued by because it's got another great cast. It's called The Trouble with Dick. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with Tom Ballard, who I adored. I absolutely adored him. He was like, it's a shame he's not on this planet anymore. He's such a good guy.
Yeah.
And Gary Walker, the director. And I did another project of Gary's. I don't know if it got released. Well, he usually goes to film festivals and win awards, and wins lands and like Tahoe and different things like that. That was an interesting one. Now he likes to do a ton of takes, and Tom and I were like, that's enough. Like, if we already have it, like we don't need them. We'd like to do a lot of rehearsal, actually, not takes. And we were like, the rehearsing was like, okay, that's it, no more rehearsal. We had to tell him because it was like, sometimes you can over rehearse and kill a scene.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that was really fun. And we filmed that in California, in one house, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, David Clennan's in it. I saw him at a convention about 6 months ago. He was there with John Carpenter's The Thing cast, and
oh wow,
their line was so long I didn't even get a chance to meet any of those people.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah. Jack Carter is in it.
Mm-hmm.
What was he like?
I didn't have a lot of interaction with him.
Mm-hmm.
I mainly had it with Tom and Elaine Giftos.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I met him a couple of times. He was very nice, but more to himself.
Yeah. Elaine Giftos, I reached out to her for an interview, so fingers and toes crossed for that.
Yeah, I'm sure she would. Did she respond yet or no?
Not yet. It's just recent.
Mm-hmm.
Susan Day, what was she like?
She was a really nice woman. She was a lot more stuff as well, but we remained friends after the shoot.
Yeah.
And she had, her husband had a son that came to LA, to move to LA, and I remember they introduced him to me, so he had some friends, and she was really nice. She was really a nice woman.
Nice.
But more quiet into herself.
Yeah. She seems like it.
Really nice.
Mm-hmm. Last night I watched Iced.
Oh gosh, that's the one I thought you were going to say. That probably nobody saw it, but I did. I mean, when you told me that, that's what I was thinking, that one, or I was thinking this other movie I did. That was like, so that was I wasn't going to do that, and then somebody just, I didn't even have to audition, and they handed it to me.
Yeah.
And it was probably, it had no pressure on it, the movie, so I literally was out skiing most of the time, or we used to go to like dancing all the time. So it was kind of like sort of a paid vacation.
Yeah.
I didn't really, the script and all that was, that's what it was.
Yeah, it was very silly, I thought.
Yeah, I know, it is. And I mean, I think an agent was like, "This is your first adult role, you should do it." And I thought it was just garbage.
Yeah.
It's really garbage.
Well,
It was. It lowered all my standards.
What was Lisa Loring like?
I really didn't have much interaction, but kind of like, kind of a wannabe diva.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of ridiculous, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I just was like skiing and dancing.
Yeah, I met her last year. She kind of seemed that way.
Yeah.
I do have to say, though, she has a very funny laugh.
Oh, yeah. That's true. I think that's even in the film, isn't it?
Yeah.
I remember, yeah.
Yeah, she still has it.
It was called something else. It was called Blizzard of Blood.
Mm-hmm.
To begin with. And then somebody else bought it. I don't know. It was like I didn't even go to any of the screenings or any of that kind of thing.
Yeah, I would have called it Blizzard of Blood. I think Iced is just, I don't know, it's just, it lives up to the cheesiness of the movie with that title.
Exactly. It's just so stupid. It is. Sorry, everybody, but it is.
I love that honesty. I love it. So, when did you decide that you were going to quit acting?
I guess it was in the early 90s, like the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
It came to a point where, I would see people on the movie set, or I would go and be in the makeup chair, and they'd be like, "Oh, you didn't get enough sleep, or you had a pimple." I was like, "Oh my God,
Yeah.
there has to be more to life than me having a pimple, or like dark circles under my eyes." And then I'd meet some of these people that we read about in magazines, and you're like, "Wow, they're so cool." And then you meet them, and they're just kind of scumbags.
Yep.
So I got so turned off by the industry, and plus I had an agent who looked for a lot of different things. Mm-hmm. And like I'd go to lunch with her, halfway through the lunch, I don't know, she was like popping pills or something.
Yeah.
I wasn't used to this type of thing, and so I had such a child view of it that it kind of shattered, and I went instead and into the south of France and sculpted and started an art program for HIV positive and terminally ill children at LAC County Medical Center, and I did it at Los Angeles Free Clinic and Children's Hospital, and I found that a lot more rewarding.
Oh, I really respect that. I love people who help children.
Yeah, they are kind of the vulnerable group out here in society. Them and of course, older people, too.
Mm-hmm. And you do documentaries now?
I do documentaries, and then I'm also working on a children's book series with my daughter. So it's called Live on Life. Mm-hmm. And we have 2 books out, and the third one is going to be coming out this year. Mm-hmm. So, and we go around schools and talk about finding one's authentic voice, and then she talks about like her love of reading and writing.
Nice.
So, and it's a series. It's really good for like 2 to, or let's say 3-year-olds to 6-year-olds, and it's really about how to navigate in a modern technological society. So the first book is called Going to the Park. So instead of looking at a park on a computer, actually get the parents off technology as well as yourself and actually walk to a park, maybe ride a bike. And then the next one is called Green is Good, which is introducing kids to green vegetable eating and going to an organic farm. So I mean, they're silly and light, but I'm just telling you they're more serious. And then the third one that's coming out is called Read, Read, and Read, and it's how a book can be a friend and make a friend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, last week I interviewed this one '80s movie actress, Cheryl Pollack. She directs documentaries too now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she directs like different random things that like interest her and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You wrote and directed a short film called Breast Pump and Blender with Brian Callen.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, what?
I love Brian. Right.
Yeah, he's a funny guy. How
And
did
just Tina Machado, who's really doing amazingly well.
Mm-hmm.
She's on the new Northern News series. She stars in it.
Yeah. Uh, where did you get the idea for that short film?
Basically from my own life.
Mm-hmm.
I had a nanny who I wasn't sure if she wanted to keep my child and get rid of my dog,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe keep my husband. I just wasn't sure,
Yeah.
so I wrote about it.
So you decided that you were going to make it a short film and not a feature length?
Yeah, I mean, I probably should have made it a feature length, but I also had like a, infant that I was taking care of at the time,
Mm-hmm.
who actually, and she's the baby infant. So, yeah, it was just, I never did.
Yeah. But it was well received, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Nice.
It won some awards, and he also played at the Directors Guild in New York in the HBO,
Mm-hmm.
in the HBO festival. And yeah, played all around. It played at Tribeca in New York as well, and it got really well received.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Do you have anything you'd like to plug?
I guess just right now the book series, which
Yeah.
is at Live On Life, because it's a lifestyle brand we're turning into. We were approached by someone to do a hair product, so it was like all organic, authentic living.
Nice. Well, Elizabeth, I thank you so much for taking the time this afternoon.
Thank you.
Yes, it was a lot of fun. And are you on Facebook or Twitter?
Mm-hmm. On Facebook as my name, but Twitter and like Instagram is the Live On Life.
Okay.
Are you on those too?
Oh yes, I'm on Facebook, and I also have a comedian page and all that.
Okay, well I'll look at that for sure.
Awesome. And I'll send.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a feature soon. I'm gonna direct a feature.
Nice.
I'm looking at a few of them right now. That's my next project.
Nice. Nice. So yeah, so I'll connect with you on those and everything. And you have a great day.
You too. Thanks so much.
Absolutely.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Well, there you have it. Elizabeth Gorcey. Ain't she a sweetheart? Thank you so much, Elizabeth. That was a very good, insightful interview and full of fun, random tidbits about those classic 80s movies. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Add me as a friend on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter. Join my Tommy Kovac comedian page and all that fun stuff. So, yeah, until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying there's no shame in living in the past because the present sucks. Later, dudes.